We got Henry Corrales back here on the program. He's going to be taking on Aaron Pico at Bellator 214 on January 26th. Henry, what's going on, man? How are you?
What's up, James? Thanks for having me, man.
No problem. I'm glad to talk to you about this fight. Taking on Aaron Pico. We had talked about this matchup after your last win. Did you expect to get this fight? Because I imagine, a lot of guys are wanting to fight Pico, but not getting that matchup.
Yeah, I had a little feeling I was going to get the matchup, so that's pretty cool.
That's good. And just your reaction, big opportunity here to take out a hot prospect.
Yeah, man, big fight, big stage, and it's everything you want in the game, man. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, and of course, he's coming off a big win over Leandro Higo in his last fight. What were your thoughts on that win on his part? Were you impressed with it, or do you feel like, maybe the caliber of opponent, it was being hyped up a little bit?
No, dude. Anytime somebody finishes somebody, it's impressive, dude. That's what you're supposed to do. So, no, he's doing his job.
Yeah, no, I agree. And let's talk about you and this matchup. Pico, known for his wrestling. You come from a great camp that is full of killers of wrestlers. How do you look at this matchup from a stylistic standpoint?
I like it. I like it, and he's a tough guy. He has good wrestling, good boxing. He's well rounded, and we got our hands full, and we know that when we took the matchup. So we've been preparing full blast for this guy. So we're super excited. We're in it to win it for sure.
Do you feel like the pressure's on him in this fight? He's the highly touted prospect, and you've really amassed quite the impressive winning streak here. Kind of flown under the radar in some circles, not in people like myself. I mean, we've been keeping an eye on your career, obviously, but do you feel like the pressure's on him in this fight?
Yeah, but at the same time, you know what I mean? I'm getting in there and fighting too. There's some pressure on me too. So, yeah, it depends how you look at it, but, I'm super grateful for the opportunity. So,
yeah, and do you feel like this matchup is finally Bellator's way of saying, hey, we're going to reward you here for the work you've done? Because, you had we talked about this, you had a killer's row when you first started in Bellator. You've really turned things around, and I think this is the first matchup that we were looking at where it's like, this is a huge fight for you on a huge card.
yeah, man. Yeah, Bellator's been treating me right, so that's cool.
That's awesome. And training camp at the lab, I imagine business as usual, just training with the same guys. I know T. Edwards has a fight coming up, so it must be good having teammates fighting at the same time.
Yeah, Hot Sauce is in town.
Oh, good.
Scott Holtzman's in town, so he's fighting soon. And, yeah, a lot of big fights coming up, so there's a lot of work going around.
Training partners, who are some of the guys you're working with? I know it's usually the same cast and crew, but who you've been working with?
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of people. The guys you just mentioned, and then we got Drakkar Klaus. He just fought. Um, Man, there's so many. We got David Bulldog Mashad, Tim Welch,
Kyle Stewart, I know, dropping down to lightweight now,
Kyle,
which is pretty.
Kyle Stewart, Mario Bautista, Kyler Phillips, Hunter Azure, so Dan the Hitman. There's so many of them.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, you get a lot of different looks, so it's not like you're just preparing for one fighter. You're getting in all those different situations, which is great. A big part of training camp is obviously recovery. What are you using right now for this camp to heal up those bumps and bruises?
Um, I've been seeing a mind body coach, so we've been doing a lot of like meditation and just like some stretches, some yoga, and just relaxing and just reading and just you know just staying present on the process, dude, and just getting after it.
Yeah, because a lot of fighting is mental. How has this camp been different, just using that as an extra tool in your camp?
Yeah, well, I'm on a 4-fight win streak, so we've been doing some good things, recently since I've joined the MMA lab, and we're just trying to build on those things. You know what I mean? Take everything across the board to the next level, and I think we're doing a good job. We're just being more efficient with everything that we're doing: diet, rest, nutrition, output. So.
And on that note, obviously, the diet, the weight cut, I imagine that's going well, even though, like, you knew about this fight during Christmas time, so I'm sure you had to cut a little bit of food out there just to get ready for this fight.
Yeah, but I've celebrated so many Christmases and New Years, and I'm not missing out on much. I'll be ready January 26th to get some grub on.
I was going to say, yeah, there's probably some good spots around the forum to get some food, right? So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, that'll be good. And what does it mean to fight at the Forum on this huge card? Fedor's in the main event. Like, this is, I mean, look at it. UFC had to cancel their card. I know they had some issues, but part of it was because this card was so strong for Bellator.
Yeah, it's my second. Me and Fedor fought on the same card in October, So that was pretty cool. And then this will be my third year fighting at the Forum. So man, it's
Become
just
like a second home to you almost.
yeah, and I'm from that area too, so it's like, dude, it's so cool. It's not getting old. Like it's my third year, and I'm more excited about this one than any of the other ones.
Yeah, and are you getting a lot of fan support coming out, for this fight?
Oh yeah, dude, we packed that place, dude. I'll be seeing and hearing a lot of familiar faces.
Yeah, that's nice, man. And your corner, who's going to be in the cage with you that night?
Yeah, we got John Crouch, Benson Henderson, and Eddie Cha.
Excellent. And how do you see this fight playing out on the 26th between you and Pico? Again, really high level matchup here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there well conditioned, ready to fight, and that's all I got to say about that.
Is this the fight that gets you the title shot? Because they were talking about him or AJ McKee next, but if you get this win, I imagine you got to be up there, especially if you get a finish.
Yeah, I would think so. That'd be five straight fighting everybody, so that'd be kind of cool.
And we talked about mentally, obviously all the stuff you're working on in this camp, and I'm sure you visualized the moment of beating Pico, getting a finish, and having your hand raised. If in fact you do get a title shot after this, how do you feel like you match up against the current champ, Patricio Pitbull Freire?
It'd be nice, dude. I fought that guy on like 12 days notice, and I feel like I was doing good on the feet and put him in a position where he was going for a lot of takedowns. And so, wrestling's a lot better these days, and for sure, I'll be more conditioned with the full camp.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that because you have that advantage of having fought him before, so you know what it's like to be in the cage, and certainly you guys are different fighters since then. But the one thing I look at between the two of you is he's taken a lot of damage, even though he's got these wins. They're not like clean cut, all of them. I mean, some of them he's in some wars. Do you feel like if you guys ever did fight, that just the fact that you don't have as much wear and tear, that would sort of help in the fight?
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah, no, it's obviously nice to not be as you go through wars. It obviously takes its toll in your career. One of the things we always talk about, usually this is where I usually ask the fighters what they're watching on TV, but I know you're a book guy, and so I always like to get good recommendations. I think last time you gave me a good one. What are you reading right now? What can you recommend for my audience?
I am reading "It's Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins.
Okay, and what's that about?
Little salt lamp in the background, diffuser.
What's with the salt lamp? I've seen people with those. What's the benefit of it?
Yeah, I don't know. My wellness coach was like, "Get one," and I was like, "All right, cool." Kind of sets the mood, relaxes you a little bit,
Okay,
And then that David Goggins, dude, he's a fucking beast. He was like in the special forces in the Air Force, the Army, the Navy. Like, dude, he like one of the only guys to ever do that. He runs like hundreds of miles at a time. Like, he's just a really tough dude. So it's like it's kind of cool to get a little insight of his mind.
And I imagine, working with Benson Henderson, he seems like a guy, too, that's probably reading a lot and getting a lot of philosophy, because I know the coaching part of his game is one of the big things that he does at your camp at the lab.
Yeah, Benson, he's one of those guys. He doesn't speak much, dude. He leads by example. He's always getting after it, just from training and just sparring and just the way he treats his wife and his kids. Like, that guy's just, dude, he's a high quality man across the board in life.
And this is a high-quality fight, man. I can't wait. January 26th, Bellator 214. Henry, always great catching up with you, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours, man.
Well, thanks for having me, James. And you can find me on Instagram at Henry Corrales MMA. And, my sponsors will be Dreamscapes, Help You Save Insurance, Horty Control, Terphouse, and the rest are on my page.